Hi there. Welcome to the Gentle Yoga Flow. Do you want to just let me know who you are and what fun plans you have this weekend? And if you can hear me, okay? Hey, good. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. All right, so we have about 8 minutes. I'm going to just do a little foam rolling just to get us started. So if you want to foam roll with me, you are welcome to. I'm just going to get my calves here. And for today, you won't need much. If you have a pillow nearby, that would be really good. I'll help with, especially if you have tight hips. So for the calf roll, I'm using a tennis ball, but you can also use a harder ball too. So I'm just going up and down the calf muscle, which includes the soleus and which is on the bottom half of the calf, and then the belly of the calf, the gastrocnemius. Working on each calf for about a couple minutes. Hi, Vanita. Welcome, everybody. If I'm hoping you guys can hear me, I have my fancy headphones in. We'll get started here in about 5 minutes, and I just asked if you wanted to say hello and what fun plans you have for the weekend. And I'm just rolling out my calves for the next 5 minutes before we get started. So I'm going to put a lacrosse ball aside. The tennis ball is quite enough. So if you've never done this before, highly recommend it. You're just going to stick it right on the belly of the calf. And I'm just going back and forth just a little bit. And then if you go all the way down to the bottom, where it attaches to your Achilles, that's also a good part. That's a different part of the calf muscle. So get it into the part of the belly, and then you point and flex. And then relax. And point, and flex. It does feel better over time. In the beginning, it's pretty intense, so just give it a little bit of time. Switching sides whenever you're ready. And again, I just threw this out there in case you have a tennis ball. You can also use a water bottle. I've never really done that, but it works. Or even one of those sticks could feel good. Two to 3 minutes, and then we'll get started. If you're just jumping on, you don't need very much. I have this kind of like a shawl I can use if I need to for grabbing if I need an extra length. So if you have a belt, that works too. I have a couple pillows also for, we'll do some good opening for the hips, so that will help if you need some support. And if you want a glass of wine, happy Friday. I don't have any wine. I'm going to wait. Otherwise, I will get my left and right confused, and then it will be no fun. Or maybe it will. Remember, if you are new to YouTube, I can't hear you or see you, unfortunately. I wish I could, because it probably make it a little easier for me. So and I can't really read the chat just from far away. So hopefully, if there's anything that I can read the chat afterwards that you want more of or you didn't understand, please leave it in there, and I will definitely read it afterwards. That felt amazing. All right, we're going to start seated. We got about a minute. I'm just going to get myself set up here. I think you guys can see me and hear me okay. So I call this a happy hour yoga because, well, it's Friday and usually we have a really busy work week or a busy life with kids running around, or maybe we've had a really hard block of training and we have another weekend coming, a full adventure. So this is like a buffer just to get the body loosened up and ready, or it also could be a buffer for your head if you just like need a reset. There's something else I was going to say. Oh, so my weekend, I have a great ride planned for tomorrow. I have a friend that is new to gravel, and she's an amazing road rider and getting into gravel. So we're going to do a fun ride in the morning. Hopefully finish around 12 or 1. And then I have an amazing friend that I'm going hiking with tomorrow. And I enjoy her company just as much as I enjoy the hikes and the training. So that's my fun weekend. And I know my quads are pretty tired from all the training. So I am looking forward to this happy hour gentle flow. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi everybody, welcome. My name is Chi. I am outdoor fitness coach. And I'm welcome you all to this gentle yoga class. And like I just said, this is a buffer between your busy work week and your fun adventure. So as an athlete, we tend to push ourselves really hard, hit hit everything to the very edge. And today, right now, for the next hour, I really invite you just to pull back, go less. Less is more this time. And if you're new to yoga, then just listen to how you feel. And if you've been practicing and you want to go deeper or modify something, by all means, this is your practice. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get started. So for our today pose, what we're going to work on is we're going to do a lot of hips. And what I mean by hips is a lot of people will think the glutes and the lower back, but it also means the inner thighs and the muscles around your torso. So those are, I call it the corset, or your QL, your quadratus lumbarum. So with that, we're going to do 4 different kinds of twists. And when I do that, I'll just walk you through each of them. They're a little unique, but each time you do a twist, I want you to think of your spine nice and tall, and then also long and strong. And that way, you're not just bending at the weakest link, you're staying very consistent through your spine. This is really going to help release the lower back and the hips. There's also some poses where we're going to get into the inner thigh, and I'll point those out. And I want you to take it slowly, because we tend to think of our lower back and our hips as the outside, which is right, but the inside also gets really tight. So when you feel that, you'll be like, oh, now I know what she's talking about. So just keep that in mind. Also, we're going to do some stuff with the neck. And a lot of times we do neck stretches from this position, but we're going to do it in different positions that I hope will help you for your ride or for whatever you're doing this weekend. Okay, so sit in a nice, comfortable position. I like to sit cross-legged. Sometimes I like to sit on my heels. Depends on the day. And relax your hands on your lap. We're going to just work on some deep breathing. So as you breathe in, I want you just to think of, close your eyes, just lift up through your spine, lift up to the top of your head, and just let it go. So I'm just going to get grounded into the mat. Again, take a deep belly breath in. Getting centered, and then exhale. And then I invite you to do Ujjayi breathing. It's a form of pranayama, a form of breathing that you're going to go in through your nose and exhale through your nose. Now, if you have any problems with your nose or you have clogged nose, by all means, just breathe through your mouth. So take a deep belly breath in. Again, you're going to fill up your belly. You're going to fill up your chest, your back, and then let it go nice and smooth. So just exhale through your nose. And there's a small constriction in the back of your throat. So as you inhale, you'll make a small kind of like Darth Vader noise. And then exhale. So let's do it 2 more times. Let's see if we can do a 5 count on each way. Okay, so breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful. All right, go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to start laying down. And the whole practice, you keep breathing like that Darth Vader noise. All right, so we're going to start on our back. And I want you to support your head and your shoulders with your mat, and your knees are bent, your heels next to your hips. We're not doing bridge right now. So roll your shoulders up and back. Turn your head left and right, just gently, so that you can just feel yourself supported. And now you're in a perfect alignment. The floor is helping us. Bring the right knee into your chest, and then hug it towards your chest or slightly to the outside. Okay? So we're holding on the outside of the shin. And then reach behind your right leg, and I want you to slightly bend your knee. Okay, so from here, if you find that you're straining with your arms, I want you to pull your shoulders back and bend your knee more. So point and flex your foot. And I don't want you to do it fast. I actually really want you to go slow. So really point, reach those toes. Don't make your calf cramp though. And then flex your ankle, reach your heel up. Open those toes, even stretch out between the toes, and then point. And flex. right, now I want you to pivot your foot. So from this flex position, reach this pinky side towards the floor, and then your big toe towards the floor. And then let's do 2 circles in one direction and 2 circles in the other direction. Flex your ankle so that your heel is reaching up. And just take a couple breaths. I'm sure you feel this in the back of the hamstring. If it's too much, you can just give yourself a little bit more slack. Okay, so from this right foot, we're going to cross the ankle over the left thigh. And I want you to gently push your right leg away from you. So you're kind of pushing both legs away from you. So now your waist is nice and long. We're going to do one of our first twists. I said 4 twists. I actually think there's more than 4. Okay, so we're going to turn and bring the left thigh down to the floor. So the right foot comes down and the left leg is down. Both shoulders are still pinned to the floor. From here, I want you to push that right leg away from you. So again, with the breath in, feel the spine nice and tall and long. Exhale and just letting go. Let go of your face, your jaw, and we're just keeping our head straight up towards the ceiling. Come out of that small twist. Line up your hips again and lift up the bottom leg and reach behind that leg and bring the left knee towards your chest. So now this is getting the outside of this hip. And our spine is completely supported. You're all in alignment. Your shoulders, your ears. Okay, so from here, don't let go of that left leg. I want you to bring the right foot to the floor. Bring the left knee into your chest. You can hold the outside of the shin if you like. And I'm doing this on purpose. I want this bottom leg supported because I want your hips to be in a really nice level position. Okay, reach behind your left thigh. Again, your knees slightly bent. Some people may have to have their leg farther away from them. That's fine. All right, flex your ankle. Point it. So when you point it, I'm hoping that you get a stretch on the front of your foot. All right, flex, open the toes. All right, point. And then flex. All right, now pinky. So now our foot's just going to kind of pivot back and forth. So pinky side down, big toe down, pinky side down, big toe. Okay, two big circles with your ankle. You're like, why are we doing our ankle? Well, we don't spend a lot of time on it. I'm also slowly tricking you to open up your hamstring. So flex your ankle, heel is up, and now open up the hamstring a little bit more. So cross that left ankle on top. Make sure your hips are level. So sometimes the hips are really tricky and they'll try to rebalance themselves without you even noting it. Breathe in, and now we're going to drop the left foot to the floor so the right thigh drops. Gently press that left leg away from you. So the top leg. It's a nice stretch to the whole front of the left side of the hip. Your waist is long. It's a small twist. So every time you think of twist, I want you to think of long and tall. And then when you exhale, just soften. And it could even be your toes. It could be your eyes. Just try to letting go just a little bit. And then breathe in, find the length. One more breath. Slowly and twist. So that's a really nice sequence you guys can do at any time. It's completely supported. So let's go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Just rock back and forth. And we're going to roll up onto our hands and knees. Okay, so from here, another great twisting, but from a different angle. So we're going to go on to a quadruped, and you're going to line up your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. So my back is flat. You could put a cup of tea on there. And I want you to spread out your fingers as wide as you can. So anytime you're on your hands, whether you're doing plank, downward dog, even this, really feel the base of your whole palm down. Really, really important for your wrist. All right, from here, I'm going to show you more of a front view. I want you to keep your elbows straight and sink your chest through and then press your chest away. And I want you to do it a few times because you may not, if you're not used to doing that, you might bend your elbows. So elbows are straight, drop your chest through, and then puff it up. And let's do that one more time. Drop it through, and then puff it up. And then find something right in the middle. Okay. So from here, drop your chin to the right shoulder, and then bring your chin to the left shoulder. And then again. So try to almost, if you can, touch your chin to your shoulder without bringing your shoulders up. And then the other direction. Relax your head and try to get your ears in line with your shoulders, in line with your hips. We're going to do a thread the needle sequence. We're going to do this 3 times. The first time we're going to go pretty slow. So reach your left arm all the way up. And what I mean by slow is that we're just going to hold it a little longer the first time through. With your left arm up, really press that right hand down so the muscles in your back are engaged. This is going to help open up your chest. If you can, look up at your left thumb. Keep reaching, feel it through your waist, through the front of your chest. I actually just feel this in my abs as well. And then exhale and reach through it. But do not hold the reach. Just reach and add the twist. So this is the thread the needle part. 2 more times now. We're just going to take one breath, one movement. So reach up, open the chest, breathe in. Breathe out and twist. One more time, breathe in. Now on this twist, I want you to place your your left ear down and hold for 3 breaths. Again, here's another twist. Inhale, lengthen through your waist. Exhale, letting go. 2 more breaths. And slowly come back into that quadruped position. So do one of the slouches. So drop your chest through, puff it up, come to the center. Now, instead of your chin to your shoulder, I want you to bring your ear to the shoulder and then ear to the other shoulder. And then ear to the shoulder. So you should feel this through more of your neck than your upper back and then your other shoulder. One more time. So hands are wide, press your left hand firmly down into the mat, reach up with your right hand, looking up. Stay here, notice the back muscles engage, press firmly into the bottom hand. Reach high as you can. As you exhale, twist just for 1 breath. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, twist. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, twist for 3 breaths, holding this twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, letting go. One more breath. Breathe in all the way up into your upper back. That's really what we're trying to open up here. Exhale and release. All right, we're going to go a little crazy here. So I hope you guys are okay with crazy. So we started with our left hand up. So now we're going to kick our right leg out. Okay, so I told you it's crazy. From the side view, my foot is in the same place as my right knee. Okay, so shift your weight back and then shift your weight forward. And you're going to probably feel something in your inner thigh of your right leg. So find a comfortable place where you're in line, your right leg is in line with your left, and reach your your left arm all the way up. Exhale and twist and hold. So this is a different version of thread the needle. If this is too much for your inner thigh, you can go back to the position that you were before. Slowly untwist, and we're going to swing the right leg in front of us. So now we're in this Anjaneyasana position, or this low lunge. All right, so from the front view, your shoulders, your hips, everything's in the right plane. I want you to find a comfortable position that you feel a stretch in the front of the left hip flexor. Take both arms all the way up and let's stop, pause here for a moment. Draw your shoulders away from your ears so your neck is soft. Keep reaching up. And then make your arms into a T position and you're going to twist to your right as much as you can. So breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then again, breathe in. So I can even feel my left arm wanting to creep in. Try to keep imagine a stick behind your back, keeping you nice and straight, just twisting from your core. Let's go ahead and add the arms into the twist. So bring your hands in the prayer position and bring the left outside of the left elbow to the outside of your right knee. So this is a beautiful pose for the outside of the hip. It's also going to get that QL that I mentioned earlier. So see if you're coming up nice and high. See if you can line up your chest bone with your thumbs in that twist. So lifting up, bringing the chest higher up towards your thumbs. Slowly untwist. Both hands go to the inside of your right leg and drop your hips even more. So I mentioned in the beginning that the hips get characterized by the glutes and the waist. This is where I feel that the inner thigh also has a role in the whole hip area. So, and I said that you're going to find something in the inner thigh. So this, if you don't feel it yet, you can drop down to your forearms and go a little deeper. I personally am perfectly fine right here. Again, this is a gentle flow, so I would rather you find something that you can hold and be more comfortable. This is called the lizard pose. Not really sure why it's called the lizard pose. Maybe because you crouch low. If you are able to kind of see how you are in reflection of yourself, make sure that your hips don't go back. That tends to be a lot of people. They'll want to like lean forward, but the big thing is to keep dropping the hips. So allow the hips to drop, drop, drop. If that means that you have to come up a little bit higher, that's actually not a bad thing. All right, so there's more to this, but I'm going to go ahead and let's go to the other side before we go too crazy. So come into plank position, spread out your hands wide, take a breath, lower all the way to your belly, nice and strong, so straight lines. Inhale, top of the feet to the floor, lift your chest. You can come into cobra if you'd rather do upward dog by all means, and lift up your chin all the way up if that's okay on your neck. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. 3 Ujjayi breaths. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. Try to drop the heels. If you can see your feet, which you should, make sure they're parallel to each other, about hip distance apart. One more breath. Coming onto your hands and knees. So this is where we got crazy. So now we're going to kick I call it a kickstand. We're going to kick our left leg out. You know that the alignment, your knee and your foot are on the same plane. You're going to rock your hips back, and then rock your hips forward. And this is mostly just to let you kind of see how that hip and the rest of your body kind of converse, because this might be a new feeling. It is for me. It's not something I normally do. Okay, so let's settle in the middle. You're going to keep your left hand down, reach your right arm all the way up. Exhale and add that twist. So in a different class, I may ask you to, you're going to hook that big toe. But for this class, I just want you to think about reaching, keeping the weight in your legs somewhat even. I really actually like this pose. I think it feels really good on my lower back and my inner thigh. One more breath. Slowly come up. We're going to still focus on that left leg. We're going to step it forward now. Anjaneyasana. So level out your hips, reach both arms up. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Remember, drop your shoulders. The focus on this one is more of the front of the hip flexor. Keep tucking that tailbone under. We're going to prepare for the twist. So arms come into a T. Imagine like a stick in your back. And then add the twist. Breathe in, lengthen. Add the twist. You guys are keeping me honest, making sure I'm just twisting and I can feel my arm wanting to come forward. Hands in prayer position. Again, from the beginning, try to get your thumb and your sternum in the same plane or touching, and then add the twist. Once you get into the twist, just bring your awareness to your hip. I realize the thumb may not be on the sternum. Pressing the left leg into your elbow. Otherwise, the elbow will push that knee in too much. Last 2 breaths. We're going to lift up the chest and get the chest in line with the thumbs again. Also, the twist can be interesting. Sorry, go ahead and let go of that because you'll notice some imbalances. So as a rider, I tend to keep one leg in front of me on my descent. So I tend to have different habits and different muscles to get stronger and weaker. So that when twist can actually, reveal that. Okay, let's go into the lizard pose. Both hands on the inside. If you want to go deeper, you can drop your elbows down. This is a deep stretch right here. The top of my foot is on the floor. Some people like to lift it. They may feel a little bit more. I'm perfectly happy with my back knee on the ground. Swing that left leg back. We're going to do that flow one more time, and then I'm going to add the other poses that I wanted to have you guys do. So come into plank, spread out your fingers, strong legs. Breathe in. Exhale, lower to your belly. Top of the feet to the floor. Inhale. And exhale, 3 breaths and downward dog. One. And then breathe out. 2. One more breath. Coming into Anjaneyasana, we're going to start with our left leg forward, and we're just going to go right into it. So breathe in, both arms all the way up. Breathe out, hands to a T. Adding that twist, coming into a twist with hands in prayer. Let's stay here for 2 breaths. Try to get your chest all the way up towards your thumbs. Slowly untwist, hands on the inside. And take 2 breaths, try to drop your hips. All right, so we're going to add, I call it a Z stretch, and then we're going to do a pigeon stretch. So walk your left foot over to your right hand. So your shin is going to be at the front of your mat. Bring the back leg forward, and now that shin is parallel to the side of your mat. So my legs, it's nothing like a Z, but you can kind of see how it looks like that. So this shin is, it's like a box. From here, you're going to twist to your left and try to bring this right elbow down. Yeah, so a big, big twist. I'm pretending to bring it down. This is as far as I can go. And this really helps to show you about how tight. Sometimes it's in the waist, not necessarily in the hips. So square yourself back off to the front of your mat. So my right leg, your left leg is still forward. And bring that back leg back a little bit more. And I'm going to slowly walk you through pigeon pose. So from here, you're going to just lean yourself over your front leg. If that's okay, then you're going to continue to walk that leg back behind you until you can no longer see that leg. So now the back leg is right behind my leg, my hip, and now my left knee is in front of me. This is where that pillow can come in handy. So if your hips are tight, you pop it underneath your bottom, and it kind of, ooh, that's better. Let's go ahead and settle in here. We're going to only do this once on each side, so let's get it nice and good. We'll take 5 more breaths. If you have anything with your knee and this bothers you, it's better to bring this front knee to the center and bend it more as opposed to extending that shin out more. Last 2 breaths, close your eyes, relax your shoulders. Step back with your left foot, coming into plank position. We're just going to go through that flow. So breathe in for plank, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. 3 breaths in downward dog. Want to come onto your knees, Anjaneyasana, so right leg forward, both arms up. Exhale, arms into a T. Add that twist. Hands to your heart center. Breathe in. Exhale, twist. 2 breaths here. So once you find your twist, lift your chest. And around these twists, inhale, lengthen. Get nice and long and strong. Exhale and find some space. Slowly untwist. Both hands come to the inside. Drop your hips. Drop your elbows if you can. All right, the Z stretch. So walk the right leg over. Try to get that shin parallel to the front of your mat. The left leg, creating that box. Turn your whole body so that your left arm comes to the floor. This side's a lot easier on this side than the other. See how that feels for you. I still need to support myself with the other hand though. Another breath here. Just relax. See how this feels. Might be a really neat pose or stretch for a lot of people. Right, slowly untwist. So we're going to slowly change this position to look more like one-legged pigeon pose. Start by just leaning over that front leg. And if that feels okay, then start walking that back leg back. Eventually, right now it's externally rotated. You're going to internally rotate that back leg. So if you were to look back, your foot and your knee and your hip are all in one alignment. Just like you can't see my leg right now, just like that. If you can, or if you'd like to, you can lower yourself down or prop your hip if that feels better. Wonderful. Coming into plank position. We're going to switch gears and get onto our hands. So come into plank first. We're going to go through the flow. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. So your feet are hip distance apart. Slowly walk your feet forward until they're behind your wrist. So now you're in a forward bend. Just forward bend. I want you to shake out your head. See how this feels on your hamstrings, your back. Soften your knees and take your time and roll up one vertebrae at a time. All right, so we're just going to do a small sequence standing. If time allows, my goal is to do it 3 times. So you'll feel this, and this is going to get a lot more of your hamstrings and your hips in a different way. So starting at your front of your mat, I want you to take a step back with your right foot. Sorry. All right, so we're going to do warrior 1. So from the front of your mat, step back with your left foot. My apologies. Your right foot's forward. I want you to come up and bring your arms up overhead. I'm just going to stay in each pose just for a couple of breaths, just so you can get comfortable with it. So in warrior 1, your heels are in alignment. If your hips are really tight, you're going to want to widen your stance a little bit. So from the front view, my heels are kind of in the same plane. But again, if your hips are tight, just go ahead and widen that stance. And then coming into triangle pose. So open up your arms in the T. Straighten your right leg. Reach over your right leg. Keep reaching. Keep reaching. Bring that right hand down, left arm up. So their head, if you can get in alignment, so line up your ears with your shoulders, turn your head to look up towards your left hand. And then without looking down, see if you can squeeze that right quad against your femur bone. So just hold on to that femur bone with the front of your leg. Come all the way up. Arms are in a strong T position. Widen your stance just a little bit and bend your front knee. Now, I'm not going to do a lot of deep poses because I want to save your legs for your weekend ride or your weekend adventures. So just enough to open up the hips. The hips are facing to the front, or as like I'm facing you. And come into a reverse warrior. You're going to drop your back arm down, your top arm up, and reach over. Take another breath. Reaching higher, and then slowly come back down. Turn your right foot in and your left foot to the other side of your mat. This is where I got confused, so my apologies. And you're going to bend into that leg, reach both arms up. So now we're just going to the other side, doing the exact same sequence. Coming up, you're going to straighten this left leg, strong arms. Inhale, reach over, reach. Bottom arm to your calf, your shin, your ankle, your foot, and then reaching up with the top hand. And then you're engaging this bottom quad. All the way up. Organize your feet so that you're in warrior 2. So the stance is just at another half a foot wider. Bend your front knee just enough to open up the hips. Reverse warrior. Bottom arm gently on the back of your leg. Reach up with your left hand up and over. Inhale, come all the way up. So your feet are pretty wide. I'm going to have you, I want the feet staying wide, but I just want your toes to point forward. So the tendency is for the toes to kind of be slightly pointed out. So just walk the heels out so they're parallel or slightly pigeon-toed. Hands come on your waist. We're going to do separate leg stretch. So from here, get nice and tall as you can. Exhale, hinging forward at the waist, at the hips. Hands to the floor. Top of the head comes towards the floor. You're like, gee, there's no way I'm going to do this. This is killing me. Walk your hands forward if that's the case, and you're going to give yourself a little bit more of a break. So it'll look more like this as opposed to walking yourself under. I like this pose because it opens up the back of my neck, gets the inner thighs, and it helps to open up the lower back as well. So the energy is coming up through your legs, so keep those legs nice and strong. Your core is strong to keep your waist long. And then let go of your head. Press into your hands, gaze forward. This is more like an Ashtanga thing. So you're just going to pause here, grab your waist, and then inhale all the way up. So you're just coming up with a flat back. So let's do that again. We're going to do the exact same sequence. So we'll do one breath, one movement, but we'll hold that one stretch, the last stretch a little bit longer. So point your right foot to the mat. Bring both arms up and come into warrior one. And then exhale, open up your arms, come into Trikonasana triangle pose. So straighten your right leg, reach over and down. Then look up at your top hand. Breathe in, come all the way up. Breathe out, bend into that front knee and reach your right arm up and over. Inhale, come up. Turn your right toes in, your left toes out. Warrior one. Virabhadrasana A. Arms are up. Trikonasana triangle pose. So arms are out. Straighten your leg. Reach over and down. Inhale, come all the way up. Widen your stance. Bend your knee. Reverse warrior. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come all the way up. Toes are in. Heels are out. Okay, we're going to hold this one a little bit longer, but you have some choices. So you can come forward and reach forward, just like you did, whichever way you had it. Or you can interlace your hands behind your back. So, another crazy pose here. You're going to hold your hands behind your back, roll your shoulders back and down if you choose to do this one. I need to have myself on the mat because my feet are going to slide on the carpet. And then you're going to come forward, drop your head. Wherever you are, let's take 3 more breaths together. Remember, the strength is coming up through your feet, through your legs. Last breath. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, and release. Okay, I said we're going to do it 2 or 3 times. I could hear you guys through the TV saying, "Chief, slow down." So let's do this one more time. I'm going to slow down. We'll hold for 3 breaths. We have the time, and let's go ahead and just go as deep as you feel comfortable. This is a really nice sequence to open up the hip flexors and the lower back. So let's do it together. So starting with our right leg, I'll face you guys. All right, right leg forward, breathe in, arms up. The warrior one, front leg is bent, keep scooping that tailbone under. And you can make it less intense by straightening the front knee just a little bit more. Triangle pose. So your feet are still in kind of the same alignment. The main difference is you're going to straighten the right leg, reach over. So imagine you're grabbing my hand and you're pulling me towards the TV. That's the kind of reach you want to do. Drop the right hand down and left arm up. So the shoulder blades are drawing together. Just make sure you don't arch your lower back. Draw your navel in and reach that hand up. Come all the way up. You're going to widen your stance. Bend your front knee, reverse warrior. So the top arm reaching up and over. Inhale, come all the way up. So the right toes come in, and then the left toes turn out. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana A. Feels whole front side of the body just letting go. It feels amazing. All right, Trikonasana, triangle pose, arms in a T. I like this pose because it gets the side of my waist, even though it's getting a lot of my hamstring. And if you're not familiar with this pose, or you didn't know what the triangle was, the triangle is this bottom arm, this bottom leg, and the side of your waist. So this left side, or I guess for you it might be your right, should be nice and straight. When you come up, imagine this top arm is being lifted by somebody. So come up with a strong arm, arms back in a T, bend the front knee, right hand down, left arm up. It's not too many times in the day that you're opening up the side of your waist like this. Really breathe into your rib cage and slowly release. Toes are in, heels are out, separate leg stretch. So we have the hands in front. We interlace your hands behind your back. You get to choose this next one. So wherever we are, we're going to take 3 breaths in there. So prepare, take a breath in. And if you have your hands behind your back, switch the thumb position. The other thumb on top. Exhale and coming down. If you have your hands behind your back, draw the shoulder blades together. Try not to, you don't want to rip out your shoulders away from your body. Just opening up through the chest. Whew, hands to the floor. That felt amazing. Okay, you're going to come into a seated position. So as gracefully as you can. That was me being graceful. You're going to bring your feet in front of you. So I had a little sequence on Instagram that I actually really, really like. So we're gonna do that one. So you're gonna bring the soles of your feet together, and this is the last flow. Before we close up shop. So and this we will do once. Okay, so we'll just make sure we do it. We have to do it on each side. So it looks like we're going to do 2 Baddha Konasanas, but we're just doing one. From here, this is kind of like the butterfly position. Place your hands on the top of your knees. And if your knees are up here, that's fine. That's where these pillows come in handy. I feel you. So you can have the pillows there and they kind of hold you. But wherever you are, so let's say your knees are up a little bit. You don't have any pillows. Press into your hands or your hands into your knees and press them in. So you're trying to squeeze them together and your hands are just holding them. And then relax. Okay, so I'm just going to do it the way where my legs are. And then let's do that again. Press in your hands into your knees. Your knees are going to press up. And then letting that go. From here, hands in front of you, lengthen. Exhale and walk your hands forward. Lengthen, lift. Exhale, fold. Again, if you want to and you needed those pillows, by all means, please put them underneath your thighs. I feel it's a supported Baddha Konasana is like a little gift. All the way up. So we're going to I'm going to do this twist with you guys. I'm going to try to do an opposite. So we're going to bring your right leg underneath you and your left leg on top. So far, so good. All right. Both hips are down. And bring your left arm to hold on to the right knee. Left hand behind you. Breathe in. Exhale and twist. See if you can bring some of the weight more forward than back. So if your back hand, your left hand is really weighted, try to go on your fingertips. And then with your gaze, this is really important, especially for us cyclists, have to keep looking over your shoulder, literally. Turn your head as far as you can to look past your shoulder. Take another breath. See if you how your Ujjayi breathing's been this practice. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Slowly release. Whew. Okay, so Dandasana is called the staff pose. And you're going to extend both legs out in front of you. And this is going to be different because if your hamstrings are really tight, you won't be able to do this. You might have to have your knees slightly bent. If you can have them straight, I want you to bring both arms up overhead and sit up as tall as you can. So your quads are engaged, your abs, shoulders, and your wrists and your ribs are on the same plane. And then drop your chin to your chest. Take another deep breath, pressing out to the bottom of your feet, bottom of your heels. Slowly release, coming into a forward bend. So if you can, you're going to reach for your feet. If you cannot, and you have a belt or a beautiful scarf near you, you can also use that. So your hands are, imagine your hands lengthening your spine over your legs. Be gentle with yourself though, your calves, your hammies, your lower back. Go ahead and just settle in 2 more breaths. Navasana is the boat pose. So you're going to shift your weight back into your hips, bring your knees into your chest, find your balance, and then extend your legs slightly. If that's okay, you're going to straighten them all the way. And that level of your eyebrow and the level of your feet are about the same. And then if you can, extend your arms parallel to each other. So this is the boat pose. One more breath. This is good for your core, engaging your legs. All right, and release. Baddha Konasana. So we're going to do the same thing, just for the other side, the other twist. Like I said, you're going to do this one twice. So it feels like we're doing it twice, but we're only going to do this on each side once. All right, so we're not going to do the little knee thing. That was just a little, I don't want to say a trick. Let me get you in position. So breathe in, exhale, and release. So the body, if you engage a muscle and then let it release, it acts to, you can Google googly tendons. It helps to release some of that and helps it become more flexible and open up the areas that are tight. So that was just like activating your googly tendons. I am not teasing you with that. Come on up. So we're going to twist to your right this time. So left leg underneath you, right leg on top. Hold on to the top leg with your left elbow. Breathe in, sit up tall. Breathe out and twist. 2 more breaths. I'm hoping with all these twists, the theme of long, tall waist was consistent for you. So every time you think of a twist, you get up, sit up a little bit taller out of your hips. And besides being good for your hips and opening up your body, it's also been known to help with your internal organs and your digestive system. Slowly release. Dandasana, staff pose. So this is the one where you extend your legs, get nice and tall, reach, reach, reach. And I'm doing this more to help you notice your core and your legs activated. Hands by your hips. Open up your palms so that you're pressing down firmly with all 10 fingers and your palm. And drop your chin to your chest. 2 more breaths. Then forward bend. Reaching for your feet, or you can grab your shins, or less is more. So if it feels good just to go slightly, that's perfect. 4 more breaths. We're just going to hang out here for a little bit. So you breathe in, if you find that your mind wanders, see if you can just experience that breath a little bit fuller. Just notice it float in and float out. Inhale, come all the way up. Perfect, everybody. So we're going to lay on our backs. That's a lot of forward bend. So the idea of a yoga flow or yoga class is that it complements um, the different muscles. So we'll finish with a bridge and then a shavasana. You're going to have your feet flat on the floor, hands parallel to each other, scoop the tailbone under, and come up just halfway. So literally just engage the glutes, the hand leads to the back. And just notice that your shoulders are relaxed and your head's relaxed. And then slowly come down. So I want you to come down slowly, that you bring your upper back down, and then your middle back, and let your bottom touch the very end. So you really have to tuck the tailbone under. There we go. Okay, one more, and you can go as easy or as you wanted to go a little bit more in like an open the front of your body more. By all means, you can do that. So press into your hands, press into your feet. Your feet are hip distance apart. Your toes are down. Your heels are down. Open up the front of the hips, the ribs, the chest. And then slowly lower. Again, nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Keep your knees, go ahead and drop all the hips. Keep your knees bent. I want you to turn your gaze so that your right ear comes all the way to the mat. And then turn your gaze so that your left ear comes all the way to the mat. And then come back to center. All right, so you're going to the comfort of your home. Maybe you have a glass of wine, but we're going to do Shavasana for 3 minutes. If you have a pillow, this is really nice. Put it underneath your knees, so that way your knees kind of flop apart. Close your eyes. Make sure my timing is good. Okay. Yay. So settle your breath, going from Ujjayi breathing, just a normal breathing. And I'll just walk you through just a gentle relaxation. So we're going to wiggle your toes, let them go. Notice your knees and your hips. And breathe into your lower belly. And breathe into the front of your chest. And wiggle your fingers. Let them go. Breathe all the way up into your ears and your eyes. Close your eyes. Give yourself the next minute or two just for yourself. Breathe back in. Let go. Slowly wiggle your hands. Bend your knees, roll onto your side. Coming into a fetal position. And slowly pressing into your bottom hand, coming up into a seated position. So welcome back, everybody. Thank you all that were able to join me today. I appreciate you being here with me and on a beautiful, well, at least in San Diego, it's a beautiful evening. And I always want to say namaste. I honor the light in each of you. That's the same light that's in me. So have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful adventure. I will be posting up my March schedule in the next couple of days, so you can subscribe and it would alert you. You can also join my Patreon account and you'll also get a notice. The last thing I was going to say was next weekend I am backpacking, so I will not have a Friday happy hour, but again, I will post the schedule. And if you guys like the class, please give me a thumbs up. That would be nice. And if you want to see something different, please let me know. I love feedback. So have a wonderful evening, and I hope you guys have an awesome adventure this weekend. Bye, everybody. Thank you.